Ever felt like something's off in a conversation, but couldn't quite put your finger on it? Discover the subtle signs of passive-aggressive behavior and learn how Stoicism can help you respond with calm and clarity. Hey there! Have you ever been in a situation where someone's actions just didn't match their words, and you left feeling a bit confused? That's what we call passive-aggressive behavior, and it's sneakier than a ninja in the night. It's like when someone says, "Oh, I'm fine," but you know they're definitely not fine. Recognizing these behaviors is super important because it helps keep our relationships healthy and honest. Imagine trying to play a video game with a friend who keeps telling you the wrong controls on purpose, so you keep losing. Frustrating, right? Passive-aggressive actions are a bit like that. They can seriously mess with our minds and emotions. But don't worry, because this is where Stoic philosophy comes in, like a wise old mentor in a superhero movie. Stoicism teaches us to stay calm, focused, and in control of our reactions, no matter what gets thrown our way. It's like having a superpower that helps you deal with tricky situations. So, stick around as we dive into understanding passive-aggressive behavior and how to handle it like a pro. Hey there! So, have you ever been in a situation where you're texting a friend, and suddenly, it feels like you're talking to a wall? Yup, that's what we call the silent treatment, and it's a classic move in the world of passive-aggressive behavior. It's like when a friend sees your message, but just leaves you on read, without replying. Ugh, frustrating, right? But why do people do this? Well, sometimes it's because they're upset or annoyed, but instead of saying it out loud, they choose to communicate through silence. It's like giving you the cold shoulder without actually saying they're upset. This can leave you feeling confused and wondering what went wrong. Now here's where Stoicism comes in to save the day. Stoicism is all about keeping calm and staying in control of your emotions. When someone gives you the silent treatment, instead of freaking out or getting mad, try to practice patience. Take a deep breath and think about what might be going on with them. Maybe they just need some time to cool down. Then when the time feels right, open up a conversation. You can say something like, "Hey, I've noticed you haven't been replying. Is everything okay?" This shows that you care and you're ready to listen. Remember, it's all about communication, not confrontation. By staying calm and patient, you're not only handling the situation like a pro, but you're also showing that you're a friend who values understanding and clarity. Alright, let's dive into the world of sarcasm and those sneaky little jabs that can leave you scratching your head. You know, like when your friend says, "Oh sure," because that's a brilliant idea, but you're not quite sure if they're complimenting you or making fun of you. Sarcasm can be like a double-edged sword. It sounds funny, but often hides real feelings. Imagine you're in a group chat, and one friend keeps making sarcastic comments every time you suggest something. It feels like they're joking, but there's an undercurrent of something else, right? That's passive-aggressive behavior at its finest. So, how do we handle this with a bit of Stoic wisdom? Instead of letting those comments get under your skin, try to focus on the facts. Respond with clarity rather than emotion. For example, if someone says something like, "Wow, look who finally decided to show up," instead of getting upset, you could reply with, "Yeah, I got caught up with some stuff, but let's get started." By acknowledging the comment without letting it affect you, you're practicing a core Stoic principle. Focusing on what you can control, your response. Remember, their sarcasm is more about them than it is about you. So next time you face sarcasm, channel your inner Stoic and keep it cool. Hey there, ever noticed how sometimes people put off doing things not because they're lazy, but because they're secretly trying to send a message? It's called using procrastination as a weapon, and it's a classic move in the passive-aggressive playbook. Imagine this. You've been asking your partner to have a serious talk about your summer plans. You bring it up again and again, but they keep saying, "Let's talk later, and I'll get back to you." But that time never seems to come. Frustrating, right? This is a way of resisting without saying no directly. It's like when you keep hitting the snooze button on an alarm, because you're not ready to get up and face the day. But here's where Stoicism comes in to save the day. Instead of getting all worked up and stressed, Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control. our own actions and responses. So, set clear boundaries and have a calm, honest chat about how this delay impacts you. You can say something like, "Hey, I've noticed we haven't had that talk yet. It's really important to me, and I'd love to find a time that works for both of us." By doing this, you're not just airing your grievances, you're taking charge of your own peace of mind and showing that you're open to finding a solution together. And guess what? That's something you can feel really good about. Alright, let's dive into something we've all probably experienced: backhanded compliments. You know, those sneaky little comments that seem like praise but have a sting in their tail. Imagine this. You're excited about your new look. Maybe you've tried out a bold outfit that's totally you. Then a friend says, "Wow, you're so brave to wear that outfit." It sounds like a compliment, right? But there's that underlying message questioning your style choice. It's like when someone says, "You're really good at math for someone who struggles with numbers." Ouch, right? These comments, often disguised as praise, can leave you feeling confused or even hurt. So why are backhanded compliments considered passive-aggressive? Well, they're a way for someone to express negative feelings without being outright mean. The person might not even be aware they're doing it, or they might not want to deal with the direct confrontation of just saying what they really think. Now, how do we handle this in a way that keeps our peace and protects our self-esteem? Here's where Stoicism comes in. The Stoic approach is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. You can't control what others say, but you can control how you react. When faced with a backhanded compliment, take a deep breath and remind yourself of your worth. Consider the intent behind the words, but don't let it define how you see yourself. You can respond with a simple thank you and move on, or if you feel comfortable, address it directly by saying something like, "It sounds like you have mixed feelings about my outfit. Is that what you mean?" This gives the other person a chance to clarify and opens the door for honest communication. Remember, the goal isn't to win an argument or prove someone wrong, but to maintain your own peace and self-respect. By focusing on your response rather than their words, you're not only practicing Stoic principles, but also setting a healthy boundary for how you wish to be treated. Hey there! So, have you ever noticed when someone does something you ask them to do, but they do it in a way that screams they're not happy about it? Like when your sibling finally takes out the trash, but does it with a loud, exaggerated sigh, or when your friend agrees to help you with homework, but makes it super clear they'd rather be doing anything else. This is what we call resentful compliance, and it's a classic sign of passive-aggressive behavior. It's like they're saying, "I'll do it, but you'll know I'm not thrilled about it." Now, why is this behavior passive-aggressive? Well, instead of expressing their feelings directly, the person is indirectly showing their resentment. They're complying, sure, but with a side of drama to let you know they're not happy about it. It's like receiving a present wrapped in sarcasm. So, how can you respond to this in a way that keeps you cool and collected like a true Stoic? First, recognize the behavior for what it is. Understand that this isn't about you. It's more about the other person's struggle to communicate their feelings openly. Instead of reacting to the drama with your own frustration, try addressing the behavior calmly. You might say something like, "Hey, I noticed you seem upset while doing this. Is there something you want to talk about?" By opening up a channel for honest communication, you're inviting them to express themselves directly, which can help clear the air and improve your relationship. Remember, being a Stoic doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or the situation. It's about responding in a way that's calm, clear, and focused on solutions rather than getting caught up in emotional reactions. So next time you catch a whiff of resentful compliance, take a deep breath and approach it with the cool-headedness of a modern-day philosopher. Hey there! Have you ever noticed someone dodging a straight-up conversation like it's a game of dodgeball? That's avoiding confrontation, and it's a classic move in the passive-aggressive playbook. Imagine this. You've got a group project at school, and there's always that one person who just won't come out and say they're overwhelmed. Instead, they keep quiet, hoping someone else will magically read their mind and fix everything. It's like when you're binge-watching a series and the main character refuses to spill the beans about their secret, even when it's painfully obvious to everyone else. So why do people do this? Well, some folks find it super hard to speak up. Maybe they're afraid of conflict, or they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But avoiding direct communication can lead to misunderstandings and even more drama. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. You're left guessing and sometimes making things worse. Now let's talk about how to handle this like a Stoic. Picture yourself as a calm and collected hero, ready to tackle any awkward situation. The key is to initiate a straightforward conversation. Yep, that means being the brave one who steps up and says, "Hey, can we talk about this?" It's about creating a chill space where everyone feels safe to share their thoughts. Remember, it's not about pointing fingers or winning an argument. It's about understanding each other and finding a solution together. By being open and direct, you're practicing a core Stoic principle, focusing on what you can control, like your reactions and your willingness to engage. This way, you not only help clear the air, but also set a great example for others. Plus, it feels pretty awesome to know you handled a tricky situation with maturity and grace. So next time you see someone skirting around a problem, take a deep breath, channel your inner Stoic, and start that conversation. You'll be surprised at how much smoother things can go. Alright, so let's talk about sabotage. Now, when you hear sabotage, you might think of some epic spy movie, but in real life, it can be much sneakier. Picture this. You're working on a group project, and there's that one person who always seems to forget to share important information. It feels like they're intentionally throwing a wrench in the works, right? That's sabotage in action, and it's totally passive-aggressive. Why do people do this? Well, sometimes it's about control or resentment. They might not want to confront you directly, so instead, they try to undermine your efforts in a subtle way. But here's where we bring in some Stoic wisdom. Instead of getting all riled up and pointing fingers, focus on finding a solution. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to control how we react to things, not the things themselves. So how do you respond? First, remain calm. Don't jump to conclusions or start a blame game. Instead, approach the situation with a solution-oriented mindset. Maybe hold a team meeting to clarify everyone's roles and responsibilities, ensuring that communication is clear and expectations are understood. This way, you can address the behavior without making it a personal attack. It's all about focusing on the bigger picture and working together to achieve your goals. By doing so, you not only neutralize the passive-aggressive behavior, but also promote a healthier, more productive environment for everyone involved. Alright, let's dive into something we've all seen at some point, playing the victim. Imagine this. You have a friend who always seems to be down on their luck. Every time you chat, it's as if the universe has conspired against them. Sounds familiar, right? This is a classic sign of passive-aggressive behavior. It's when someone uses their misfortunes to manipulate sympathy from others, rather than addressing issues directly. Now, let's say your friend constantly talks about how unfairly they're treated by teachers, how their pet ate their homework, or how their phone mysteriously malfunctions just before they need to call you. It's like they're starring in their own drama series. But here's the kicker. This behavior can be quite toxic. It can make you feel guilty or responsible for things you have no control over. So, how can we handle this using Stoic wisdom? First, maintain empathy. Understand that they might genuinely feel overwhelmed. But, and here's the important part, encourage personal responsibility. Instead of getting sucked into their narrative, gently remind them of their strengths and the actions they can take to change their situation. For example, you could say, "I understand that you're upset about the teacher's decision. Maybe we can brainstorm some ways you could approach them to talk about it." The key is to support them without validating their victim mindset. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to remain calm and rational. By doing this, not only do you help your friends see things from a different perspective, but you also protect your own peace of mind. So next time your friend plays the victim card, be there for them, but also gently nudge them toward taking charge of their own story. Hey there! So, have you ever been in a situation where someone blames you for something without actually saying it? It's like they're trying to win an award for best actor in a blame game. This is what we call indirect blame, and it's a classic move in the passive-aggressive playbook. You might hear something like, "I wouldn't have been late if someone had reminded me." Sounds familiar? It's like they're hinting that you're at fault, but they're not saying it outright. It's sneaky, right? So, how do we deal with this using Stoic wisdom? First off, don't take the bait and get defensive. Instead, address the behavior directly. You could say something like, "I understand it's frustrating to be late, but let's focus on how we can prevent it next time." By staying calm and not reacting emotionally, you take control of the situation. Remember, it's all about focusing on what you can control, which is your response, not their behavior. This way, you're not only showing maturity but also encouraging more honest and direct communication. It's like leveling up your life skills. So, next time you encounter indirect blame, channel your inner Stoic and handle it like a pro. Keep it cool, keep it clear, and keep it kind. Alright, let's dive into a classic move in the passive-aggressive playbook, feigned ignorance. Imagine this, you're working on a group project, and everyone is supposed to contribute equally. But there's always that one person who, when asked about their part, gives you a blank look and says, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that." Sound familiar? This is what we call feigned ignorance. It's when someone pretends they don't understand something to dodge responsibility or avoid doing something they don't want to do. Now, this can be super frustrating, right? But here's where Stoicism comes in handy. Instead of getting all worked up, a Stoic would suggest taking a step back and calmly addressing the situation. First, make sure you've communicated clearly. Sometimes, people genuinely might not understand what's expected of them. If they're still playing the clueless card, reiterate the instructions and clarify expectations. It's all about reinforcing accountability without letting your emotions take over. By staying calm and collected, you can keep the focus on solving the problem rather than getting caught up in the drama. So next time someone tries to dodge responsibility with feigned ignorance, channel your inner Stoic and handle it with patience and clarity. Alright, so we've unpacked these 10 sneaky signs of passive-aggressive behavior. It's like spotting those secret Easter eggs in a Marvel movie. Once you know what to look for, you start seeing them everywhere. Recognizing these behaviors is like having a superpower for your social life. You can dodge drama like Neo in the Matrix, keeping your relationships healthy and drama-free. Now imagine you're at Hogwarts and Stoicism is your wand. It's all about using logic and calmness to cast away the shadows of confusion and resentment in your interactions. By staying chill and focused, you can respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. Picture this. Your friend's sarcasm rolls off you like water off a duck's back because you know it's not about you. Instead, you address the comment with facts, not feels. Or, when someone gives you a backhanded compliment, you smile and remember your self-worth isn't tied to their words. By applying Stoic principles, you're not just avoiding conflicts, you're transforming them into opportunities for growth and understanding. This mindset shift doesn't just help your relationships, it boosts your own peace and clarity too. So the next time you sense passive-aggressive vibes, channel your inner Stoic and respond with calm clarity. Trust me, it's like having the cheat codes to life's social game. Keep practicing these responses in your daily interactions, and watch how your world starts to change for the better. You've got this.